Class of 2026 center Ethan Taylor, the 7 footer, a true 7 footer, 7 footer, 230 pounds, will be playing his senior year at Link Academy. Recently sat down with Jacob Polachek over at KSR. Shout out to Jacob Polachek, always does great work over there. A Kentucky offer was sent to Ethan Taylor, and amongst some of the other offers he has, Michigan State, to name one of them, is also on that list. He's one of the more highly, I think, sought after recruits, I think, in the country, given his size and things like that. Despite depending what service you look at, he's the number one center in this class. So I think he's considered one of the better bigs in the country in this class, which has a lot of schools in for his services. Some of the ones he's heard from, as I stated, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Indiana, Michigan State, Kansas, Oregon, Baylor, Texas. I mean, we have all that in the fold here. Official visits will be set soon, but the main thing I want to talk about here is that there was a quote in this article that I think I want to get your take on. And Ethan Taylor himself said, "I didn't realize I had come that far." Kind of just speaking on the fact that like he's getting all these offers from all these blue bloods, all these big schools. Mark Pope's calling him, everyone's calling him, wants his services. For a kid who I think has risen up the rankings, has gotten a lot better. I just think that he has really kind of grown in his basketball journey, and he's kind of at a point where even if he's at the top of his class, he's sort of a little bit starstruck in this case, I guess. So, Riley, I'll throw it to you for what do you take from a kid like Ethan saying, like, I just didn't realize I'd come that far, and also speak to him, the player, because I know you were able to watch a lot of this film, and I know you really like him.
Yeah, I like the humility. I like being reminded sometimes that these high level recruits are still high schoolers. When you see like these kids are 17, it shouldn't be that surprising when there's a little bit of starstruck or even some reflection on their journey where it's like, wow, I can't believe I'm in this position. That being said, Ethan is the goods, man. Like he's got to get a little more confident in his game. You shouldn't be surprised at this point. I think you already mentioned his frame. He's 7 foot 230. Like he's already pretty filled out for his age. And then when you look at the defensive instincts, that's what pops the most to me, along with the really the shot blocking. It seems like his footwork, he's super light on his feet and just can cover ground so quickly. And if it seems like at any time the primary defenders beat, he's there lurking, waiting, ready to smack a shot into the stands. I even look at like he played for Mocan Elite, great UIBL program. Brad Beal Elite won the Peach Jam this year. They only lost 2 games throughout the week of Peach Jam. One of those was a 11-point loss to Mocan. And in that game, Ethan Taylor had 11 points, 15 boards, and 3 blocks. Like this dude is stuffing the stat sheet and making a difference playing winning basketball. I know there's a lot made about how, maybe this class isn't the greatest, but he's someone who I would definitely have my eye on and would be really excited to get if he was on my team.
Yeah, also like not to put it in a box where it's like, oh, it's not impressive, but the 7 footers don't grow on trees. And the thing about it is, to my one of the most, so I got a little scatterbrain here, but one of the more impressive things to me with prospects is that you have 7 footers that block shots, and then you have 7 footers that are legit good at blocking shots. Like that's one of the biggest pet peeves in the world of basketball to me. I guess I'm taking the big man stand here. It's truly an art form to know when to block shots, timing, being in the right spot, knowing which hand to use when you want to block shots, keeping shots in play. I feel like Ethan Taylor has a lot of that with how he blocks shots. Like we've seen 7 footers in basketball, just they block shots because they're 7 feet tall. And they find they mess around and get a block a game. Ethan Taylor is a guy who I think could be a guy that like leads whatever conference he's in and blocks as a freshman. I think
Mhm.
he has that great of timing, size, and defensive ability. And to your point, Ethan, I'll talk shit for you. But have some confidence in your game, dog. Like I think he's one of the better prospects in this class at the center position. And I think it's very, very evident why schools want his services. Now, I did mention some schools there, Riley. Obviously, this was a Kentucky article. Kentucky and Mark Pope are very much in the running for him, but everyone else is in for him as well. You have Indiana, you have Michigan State, Oklahoma, Baylor, a bunch of Texas, a bunch of other schools that I mentioned here. Is there one that sticks out for you for Ethan Taylor, I guess, in his game?
I'd love to see him on our Spartans.
Riley, I'd like to make a pitch.
Okay,
I'd like to
please
make a
do.
pitch. Ethan Taylor will be playing his senior year at Link Academy. Link
Hmm.
Academy just got a recent transfer point guard in. Do you know who that point guard is?
I do not.
It is Carlos Medlock Jr., the player that just recently committed to Michigan State. When he committed to Michigan State, he committed saying that I am going to, I'm ready to be the point guard. Don't recruit any more point guards. And also, I'm on the hunt. Carlos Medlock is going to be doing some recruiting. To link coaches on every trip, I need Carlos Medlock and Ethan Taylor rooming together. I need them doing everything together. Study hall, class schedule. I don't care. I need them running two mans together if they're both single, okay? I need them to be Twinskies. Shout out to the Twinsky episode. I need them locked in. I really do hope that Michigan State does have a good chance because it's been a while since Michigan State has got a center, man. It truly has. Like respect the Carson Cooper, but my brother in Christ, we could use a center.
Can I make the pitch for you too for Izzo if he's listening for like the to allot the appropriate resources here?
Please.
Carter, when is the last time Michigan State has had a center that you could throw the ball to on the block and they would go get you a bucket?
Legit, like I don't even consider Xavier Tillman to be one of those guys, but it was probably Tillman.
That's the best I could think with. I'm going back to 2015 when we were in school to try to think through like the best low post scores. And that was Izzo's bread and butter so for so long. It was like if you're a developmental big, go play for Tom Izzo and he's going to turn you into a 17 and 10 guy by the end of your career and you're going to be a focal point on the offense. I didn't see this a ton of Taylor's Mocan film on the EYBL circuit, but I sent you some of his highlights from his high school ball last night over J. Cole's too deep. Excuse me. I got so excited. I'm stumbling over words. Over J. Cole's Too Deep for the Intro from Friday Night Lights, a mixtape from when we were still in high school. I love that he has respect for that era of Cole. And it's him just like cooking dudes in the low post. It's him cooking dudes in the mid post. He's hitting them with drop steps. He's hitting them with turnaround jumpers. It's like a versatile post bag. I love the thought of like Izzo letting him rock out like that. And then he still has this modern NBA type skill set where he can finish above the rim. He can block shots. He's a dog on the glass. So part of why I love college basketball so much is the different mixture of styles we've seen. Obviously, in the NBA, you're not seeing too many back to the basket guys, and I'm not even saying that has to be all of Ethan Taylor's game. I just like that he has that element, and I want to see Izzo get at least one more of those guys before he calls it quits and retires.
Yeah, it'd be nice. And even at worst, you have a rim running 7 footer, rebounds extremely well, block shots and finishes and can catch. Like that's all I want in this world, man. It truly is all that I want. He doesn't have any official visits set yet, so we'll have a little bit more of an idea once he sets that and where he's going to go. I think obviously with every school being in on him, it's going to be a recruitment that's going to maybe have a lot of twists and turns, given the schools that are going to be in and out and what Ethan Taylor is prioritizing. I know that. I mean, just looking at Kentucky alone, they're in on every single center in this class. It feels like so. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. But when we have updates on Ethan Taylor's recruitment, you can catch them here on Sleepers Media YouTube channel.